Hi dear student, I am Bidhan Krishna Panday. I am an assistant teacher in English of SM Model Govt High School, Gopalganj. Today I am going to discuss about a part of transformation of sentence, simple complex compound sentence. At first, I will discuss the definition of simple complex compound sentence. You know that a simple sentence has only one clause. Oh, what is clause? Okay, at first I will discuss what is clause. You know that a clause is a part of a sentence which has or which must have a finite verb, minimum finite verb, then a subject and others. An example, I will give an example. I saw a nice bird. This is the finite verb. So when you find a finite verb in a sentence or part of sentence, it is called a clause. I will give another example. I knew a doctor who was very honest. You know that this is a finite verb, so this is a clause, and this is also a finite verb, so this is also a clause. There are two clauses in this sentence. I think you will understand the term clause. Now I will discuss about simple sentence. You know that a simple sentence has only one clause. So it is a simple sentence because of having huge money, or because of having a car, he went to school by it or by the car, by it or by the car. Okay, this is the finite verb. So he went to school by it. It is a clause, but there is also a verb, but this is not finite verb, it is non-finite verb, so it is not a clause. So this sentence you will find only one clause, so it is an example of simple clause, simple sentence. I think you will understand this, but a complex and compound sentence has minimum two clauses. Complex sentence. What do you mean by complex sentence? I told that a complex sentence has minimum two clauses, and it is these two clauses are joined with a subordinate conjunction. Okay, I think you will you learned subordinate conjunction in the lower class. The subordinate conjunctions are all WS word, that, as, since, if, because, it is. This is called the subordinate conjunction. These subordinate conjunctions are used to link two clauses of a complex sentence. I will give an example to clear the issue. He went to market which was very big. This is an example of a complex sentence. This is a clause and this is another clause. These two clauses are joined with this WH word. I will give another example. If you read attentively, you will learn the topic. This is a clause and this is another clause. These two clauses are connected with the conjunction if. These subordinate conjunction are used to link the two clauses of a complex sentence. Okay, now I will discuss about compound sentence. I have already told that like complex sentence, compound sentence also has minimum two clauses, and these two clauses are joined with coordinating conjunction. The coordinating conjunction are and, but, or, therefore, yet, etc. But these three are the most popular. So you memorize these three conjunction and, but, or. Two clauses, when two clauses are joined with this conjunction or coordinating conjunction, you will say that this sentence is called compound sentence. I will give another example. He got a job and I gave him a treat. This is a clause and this is another clause. These two clauses are joined with this coordinating conjunction and. This clause and this clause is joined with and. This is an example of compound sentence. I will give another example. He is honest, but he never goes to say prayer in the temple. So this is a clause and this is another clause. These two clauses are joined with this conjunction, coordinate conjunction but. So these are the examples of compound sentence. At first I introduced these three types of sentences according to the structure of sentence, but it is not my aim. My aim is to transform them from one another. That means simple to complex or complex to compound or vice versa. So I will discuss only 8 techniques to transform these sentences. At first I will give some examples and then I will say the rules of it or technique of it. Okay, let's start. First example, it is from simple, complex to compound sentence. Okay, the first example is, in spite of getting a good job, he is unhappy. Okay, this is an example of a simple sentence. There is only one verb. This is a verb, but it is not a finite verb, it is non-finite verb. So this is an example of simple sentence. In the exam, you will find such kind of a sentence. You will tell to transform them into complex or compound. Okay, cox means complex, cord means compound. Okay, the cox form, that means the complex form of it is. Okay, I will tell a technique at first. You know that a simple sentence has only one clause, and complex and compound clause has minimum 2 clause. Okay, you should make a clause. This is a clause, but you should make another clause with these words. You need a subject. This is the subject. You will give this subject. Okay, then they will give the finite verb. This is this verb changed into finite, that means gets, then a good job, then the others is unhappy. The technique is, when you find in spite of or despite in a simple sentence, you will give though or although in a complex sentence. When you find in spite of or despite, you will give though or although in complex sentence, and but in compound sentence. At first you will make a clause like this. I will make this clause using this part of the sentence. Okay, the compound form is this. This is the part of a clause. He gets a good job. Then when you find in spite of or despite or though although in complex, you will give but in the middle part of the sentence. He gets a good job but he is unhappy. Okay, I will repeat. When you find in spite of or despite in a simple sentence, you will give though or although in complex sentence and but in compound sentence. But is always used in the middle part, and though although is used the first part. You will also give the middle part, but it is used in it is best used in the first portion of the sentence. Okay, this is the technique. First technique, or R1, technique number 1, or R1, rules number 1. When you find in spite or despite in a simple sentence, you will give though or although in complex and but in compound sentence. Okay, now the second technique or second example. Cox or coat. Okay. This is another example of a simple sentence. This is a simple sentence. The complex form of the sentence, I will repeat. A simple sentence has only one clause, and complex and compound sentence has minimum 2 clauses. So at first you will make a clause using this part of the sentence. This clause is already made, so you will make a clause from this part. So you need a subject. This is the subject, this is the subject, then the verb, this is the verb, complete. When there is the first form or B2 form, you will give their B2 form. When you find B2 form here, you will give B2 form there. When you find present form or beyond form, you will give present form or beyond form there. Okay, then the other part, others I went to school. Okay, when you find v1 plus ing, when you find v1 plus ing, you will give as, since, because or when before the sentence in complex sentence. So you will give when before it. This is a word of indicating time, so you will give when. When this sentence express a reason, you will give because as since at first as a conjunction. When you find the word indicating time, you will give when. When this word indicating a reason, you will give as, since or because. Okay, now God, this is a clause I have already made. Sorry, the another clause. When you find verb plus ing or when as, since, because, you will give and at the middle. So I completed the work and I went to school. Okay, the technique is in simple. When you find v1 plus ing, there is a time indicating word etc, but the base form is v1 plus ing. Then cox, you will give when, as, since or because. This is for time indicating and this is for reason indicating. And court, you will give and at the middle. This is the second technique or R2 or rule 2. I repeat, when you find v1 plus ing in a simple sentence, you will give when, as, since or because. You will give when you find time indicating word, that means after, before, during, it, etc. And you will give as, since, because when you find the reason indicating word. Okay, then you will use and at the middle in compound sentence. That's all about rule 2 or technique number 2. Okay, now I will start technique number 3. At first I will give an example. In simple sentence, by reading attentively, you will get GPA 5. Okay, it is an example of simple sentence. This is not an clause because this verb format is non-finite. This is only finite verb, so this is an example of simple sentence. Now I will transform it into complex. When you find verb by plus verb plus ing, you will give if before the sentence. Then you will make a clause. This is the verb subject, then the verb, then other, then you will give the other part of the. Okay, then in compound sentence you will give and at the middle part, and you will give this you read this u is unnecessary, so it is, you can vanish this u. So read attentively and you will get GPA 5. The technique is in simple. When you find by plus beyond plus ing in a simple sentence, you will give if in complex sentence and in compound sentence. Okay, this is technique or rules number 3. Now I will discuss about technique or rules number 4. At first I will give an example, then the technique. Technique number 4. First the example is without working hard, you cannot shine in life. This is also an example of simple sentence because this verb is non-finite, not finite verb. So I will transform it into complex. When you find without plus verb plus ing, you will give unless or if not. Unless or if not at first. The using of unless is very simple. So you can use unless or if not. When you use if not, you will give if you do not. Because instead of this, you can use unless. Only one word, unless, then subject you, unless you, then verb working, transform into work. This is finite verb. This is non-finite, this is finite. This non-finite verb emitting this or leaving this ing, it becomes finite. Hard, then others, you can not shine in life. Okay, then the compound is work hard or you cannot shine in life. Please notice that there is no subject. There is no need to use any subject. So work hard or you will give you cannot shine in life. When you find without plus verb plus ing in a simple, you will give unless in complex and or in compound sentence. So the technique is without plus v1 plus ing, you will give in complex unless or if not, unless or if not. Please notice that I will give a not in bracket because here you can use if you do not work instead of unless. This is the technique number 4. This is technique number 4. I think that you can already learn this item. I will leave it. When you find without plus verb plus ing in simple sentence, you will give unless or if not in complex and or in compound sentence. It's enough for today. I will give these another 4 examples and technique of from transforming from simple complex compound in next video or next class. I hope you will practice this in your home very well. I think it is enough for you to learn simple complex compound, and next class I will discuss this another 4 technique. I hope you will practice from your model question or a board question. I think you can able to gather good marks in the exam. Hope you are well. Thanks. Goodbye.